Hi, we're reviewing House of the Dead. This has been a long time coming. Man, have I been waiting to take a chunk out of Uwe Boll.
See, Uwe Boll is not just a horrible, horrible director, but he's the kind of horrible director that has delusions of genius.
Look, I'm not a fucking retard like Michael Bay or other people running around in that business, or Eli Ross making the same shitty movies over and over again.
I'd have him pegged as the most sophisticated troll ever in the history of cinema, but considering the numerous accounts of people working with him firsthand, confirming that he's absolutely serious, I'm gonna say no.
Scripts are late. Writers are 2 years late. I was 2 weeks late. Uwe Boll calls me, "This is fucking disgusting! You lied to me! Where is my script?" I delivered the script probably a week after that, and he's like, "We love it, we go into production tomorrow." I was like, oh my god, like, it was a first draft.
It's not the fact that he sucks at making movies that offends me. If he was just an over-enthusiastic fan with a lot of money and no talent, I'd still totally respect him as an artist. But here's the thing. When you work in any kind of creative field, you need to be able to take criticism well. How well does Uwe Boll take feedback? Well, let's see. After finding out that his movies were universally hated, he publicly called his critics retards. And in 2006, after finding out that internet nerds dared to leave negative reviews on IMDb, he challenged them all to a boxing match. Oh, it sounds like typical internet nerd rage, but no, he went to great personal expense to make it happen. Some of them actually even showed up, and Boll, having experience as a semi-pro boxer, pounded their faces in for daring to not acknowledge his genius. Note that he refused to fight one challenger that weighed 300 pounds, but picked out 4 opponents who were all in smaller weight classes than him, only one of which had actually boxed before.
Uwe looks determined to do this. Fans, if you can see this, you can see, if you can get in close enough, you can see the determined look on Uwe Boll's face. He is not joking around, ladies and gentlemen.
So again, it's not the fact that he makes bad movies that I hate. It's the fact that he's a bully who thinks punching someone really hard is a good way to prove the artistic integrity of his exploitative schlock.
And now's my chance to show him what's for. Oh, Diamond Hagen's here too.
Uwe fucking Boll! I fucking hate that dramatic little shit stain, the piece of fucking shit, the Bratwurst of pain. He is a gargoyle of unholiness and not in a good way. Fucking hate him!
Begging your pardon, mistress, but didn't Phalos already review that movie?
Does that statement have a point attached to it?
Well, I just thought that perhaps...
Well, I just thought that perhaps, since I went to the fucking expense of getting the Iron Maiden and crossing it with a lemon juice dispenser, that I might want to try that fucker out.
Okay, wait, hold on. There has to be an easier way to solve this. Hey, Phyllis, we're reviewing your movie.
What?
The movie begins with a brief intro and title credits. Then we hear this.
It was a nightmare. So many dead people. So many victims. It all started a few days ago when I came here for a rave. And now all that remains is the rotten smell of death.
He speaks one line, and then it goes right back into another longer intro with title credits.
Nice of the credits to show us the game with the least to do with this film.
You'd think this guy would be a little bit more broken up about all that rampant death. I also think it's pretty funny how they go from his sobering words about death straight to upbeat techno music.
It's not techno, it's house music. Get it?
I don't have a movie. Or do I?
So, where are they, dude? We're gonna miss the boat.
Greg and Simon. Greg's the guy I played ball with in college. A good guy, if not a little goofy. Simon. They say God doesn't give with 2 hands, and they were right. You got the looks, but not much between those ears.
They say God doesn't give us 2 hands? Who says that? Uwe Boll?
So hold on, just let me make sure I've got this. This guy plays baseball, and this guy is dumb. Now that's character development, folks. I can tell I'm gonna like these protagonists.
I'm, Simon.
But Simon only has eyes for Alicia.
He just met her! There are more introductions, but they're all as bland as oatmeal-flavored bubblegum.
those invitations with the map on it? Gave you the wrong info.
Rave on an island. Someone setting up a rave really wanted to deal with drugged out twats and a fuckload of water.
It says here the boat doesn't leave until 5.
Yeah, and it's 5:15 now, Simon.
Oh shit, we're so fucked.
You know what? I like this scene. It established early on that they're all idiots. That will help me decide not to care a lot sooner, and I really appreciate that.
Isn't 5 a bit early for a rave? Unless the trip is long, which makes my comments about why the rave is on a fucking island even stronger. Why the fuck is the rave on an island that's that far from the shore?
If only they decided to stay back in Seattle, they'd all be alive today.
Never before has a line so melodramatic been paired up with a performance so not giving a shit.
What's this? Another intro? That's 3 intros.
Why Seattle anyway? It's not an ocean city. I have an easier time believing there's a mysterious, dangerous island nobody knows about in the middle of a vast ocean than in this little bay here. Unless maybe they're taking an absolutely massive boat trip.
Oh, wonderful. You stole the intro from Blair Witch 2.
When you actually see this rave that's going on, it's kind of... I don't know, this is a rave? It's outside in broad daylight. There aren't any kind of strobe lights or... What's with that big Sega logo? Did Sega sponsor this rave, or is it just the most pointless product placement I've ever seen?
Isn't the only reason to have a rave on an island because it's an illegal rave? Why would Sega sponsor an illegal rave? Why would they sponsor a rave at all? Why is this rave on during the day? And why are there only 20 people there?
And... whoa. Okay, I didn't expect to see that.
Unbelievable. It's going on a weekend. You gotta come. Oh, and you'll never guess who's here.
Robotnik? Someone from the fucking game?
Cell phone reception's for shit out here. Hello, sweetie, I'm losing you. Are you there?
I should be complaining about the old horror cliche of getting bad cell phone reception, but I'm actually surprised because it seems like so far this is the only actor that's even trying. Have you seen the rest of the cast? You might as well not bother. Oh, by the way, this is the actress that played Lois Lane in Smallville. And here are her jubblies. Oh, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
At the back of my head, something was nibbling away at my subconscious.
Oh, that has to be a pun. So anyway, Rich McLotsacash here decides he's going to hire a fishing boat to take them over to the island.
Well, that's too bad. Because this here's a fishing boat, not the Pacific Princess. Why don't you try the Yellow Pages?
Clint Howard's performance reminds me of a hamster trying to play a pirate.
Hey, you know, I actually wonder what it would be like to see Clint Howard in a movie where he doesn't play a creepy weirdo.
Why don't you just name your price?
Buddy, this guy is being hostile, and he's clearly off his meds. Why don't you go take your business elsewhere? Look, there are other boats in the harbor. Go hire someone else. Just how important is it to you that you and your friends spend the next hour stuck on a boat with a crazy fisherman who hates you?
No, Leto Atreides, why? Why are you in this movie? Why?
Do you need a moment?
No, I'm good.
I'll do you the service of skipping over the part where Simon negotiates with the angry banana and Captain Hardjaw. Let me just summarize. I'll give you money. Ah, we're weird and don't like you! I'll give you more money. Ah, insane ramblings, we don't want your money! I'll give you $1,000. Okay. But ah! I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you that these weird eccentric fishers know the island is cursed, and the naive heroes don't believe them, because it's probably the first thing you thought of as soon as these two start arguing.
You know what they call this island? Isla del Muerte.
Wow, it looks like they found the only sailors terrified of the island, because otherwise, how did the 20 extras get there? And they're scared of a fucking name!
It's probably one of the most oddly specific, stupid horror cliches that exist. Character A knows the truth, but doesn't know how to not sound like a total lunatic. Character B doesn't believe him, but seems oddly compelled to hang around the total lunatic anyway. And again, he paid these guys $1,000 because he didn't want to bother asking someone else who wasn't crazy to take him.
Simon Cruz, and you are?
Kirk's the name.
Captain Kirk. I refuse to make fun of this. It's too stupid.
Luckily, you don't have to. They supply their own bad jokes.
Does it make him Mr. Spock?
How much to lose them?
Lose them? Your shitty little boat?
Seriously, the captain just ignores the cops and leaves them behind. Yeah, there's no way he can get in trouble for this later. What a foolproof plan.
Either they catch them and this is stupid, or they don't, and this is pointless.
The lady needs to dine on a humble pie once in a while.
So you've run into her before?
Run into her. Hell yeah.
Oh, you know her. Okay, so in other words, that cop you just evaded knows your name and where you live. This plan gets better every passing minute. Anyway, so Lois Lane wants to go skinny dipping, and this dude seems up for it.
Oh my god. Oh, that's cold, baby.
What a wuss! Seriously? He's perfectly up for skinny dipping with a hot girl right up until he discovers the water's cold. It's friggin' water! This guy would lose a game of chicken with bumper cars to a 6-year-old in 4 seconds. There's also this pointless bit.
Was that actually supposed to be funny?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's supposed to be funny, gross, some bizarre type of character development, or what. It really has no effect on the plot. All it does is somehow lead to this awkward exchange.
What's this for?
It's for your protection.
It's okay, I'm on the pill.
Do me a favor and hit me.
What? Not gonna fucking touch you. Minion hits him! Ah!
Thanks. That softened the pain.
I just had to give you the protection because you're the one with the best tits.
Now, what do you want to bet this crucifix never plays a part in the story again?
How the fuck has the guy managed to fall asleep on a stony beach when there's a fucking rave nearby? Okay, I once fell asleep leaning on a speaker in a nightclub, but there were drugs involved!
The gigantic wuss disappears, and she goes wandering around looking for him rather than just going back to the rave. And I'm sorry, Uwe, dramatic music doesn't make a hand on a tree scary. Oh no, he probably didn't go back to the party. It's far more likely that a man deathly afraid of water being cold wandered into this old scary house surrounded by headstones.
Is that you, Matt? Matt?
What?
Wait, the fairground horror ride mannequins dragged him all the way there just to kill him. And how did she follow him? It's not like he was screaming. Is she just psychic? Or just lucky? Well, as lucky as you can be when you're dead.
What? My brain's gone kaput. Let's just go back to the characters that have an impact on the plot. Assuming such a thing exists.
You know what would make this boat trip a little less annoying? A suicidal Donald Sutherland in Cyborg Monsters.
I know where they're docking. Drop me off on the other side of the island.
You want me to radio for backup?
Nah. I think I can handle Victor myself.
Hey, it was stupid, not pointless. Why the fuck would a rave stop at night? And where's the 20 extras gone? Oh wait, they've been killed. So where's the bodies?
Doesn't this bother any of you?
Yeah, it worries me. It worries me they don't have any mixers.
So just to make sure I've got this right, they were 15 minutes late catching the boat to the rave, and spent maybe 5 minutes negotiating with this captain. Maybe give them about 10 to 15 minutes leeway because maybe it took them a while to find the boat. So they're at worst about 35 minutes late for this rave, and everyone is gone. Not a single person is still hanging around, nothing was packed up, everything was abandoned, the whole place is destroyed, and oh, and look, here's a blood-stained article of clothing. I can't imagine anything might have gone wrong!
I know these guys are idiots, but the only thing they care about is drinks.
Minion!
Yes, mistress. How may I best serve you?
Bring me a lucky cunt. My own recipe.
Yes, of course, mistress. I hope this is to your liking, mistress.
Excellent. Now find my gun and shoot yourself in the head.
You know how annoying it is when you go to someone's house or get in their car and they start smoking right in front of you?
Supposedly.
Well, no offense, but murdering someone in front of me is kind of worse.
You know, for a so-called evil genius, you're kind of a buzzkill.
You know that's just my username, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
And this weekend's not going to go at all as I expected. It's a pity. I wanted you to train the squid.
At the very least, shouldn't they be annoyed or disappointed there's no one to party with? If it's gonna be just the 6 of them, they could have just stayed home and drank their own beer. Are the free drinks worth the $1,000 you paid to sail you all the way over here? Anyway, boring stuff, the banana gets killed. This was the one guy in the group who was scared of coming to this island because of evil spirits, and he's the first one to wander into the woods by himself, and when he hears funny noises, he assumes it's probably just the captain.
Greg? Scaring me.
The blonde being killed made my day a little better.
Wow, we get a load of that.
What the hell is it?
Oh, so there is a house in House of the Dead.
Looks like it was built a millennia ago.
Simon, centuries.
What? What is she correcting him for? I know they wrote him as dumb guy who misuses words, and she's supposed to be the smart one, but millennia is a perfectly acceptable word. What, is he not allowed to exaggerate?
It looks like it was built 1,000,000 years ago. Simon, it wasn't actually built 1,000,000 years ago. Who cares, you stupid pedantic piece of— Ow!
It was him! He did it! Beat him to death! Beat him to death! Beat him to death! Beat him to death!
No, I'm not gonna beat him to death.
I'll give you a cookie.
So inside the house, they find the survivors of the big disaster earlier, who fill them in. Wait. Okay, we're kind of assuming that this weird house everyone keeps stumbling upon is the House of the Dead. The one in the title that was in the game this movie is based on, so that should be like the epicenter of all things zombie. Hiding out from the dead inside the House of the Dead is the single worst plan you could possibly come up with.
Just hanging out, having fun, and then these things came and they attacked the rave.
So the rave did get killed. Where are the bodies?
You may not want to believe it, but those are reanimated corpses, just like out of a fucking Romero movie.
It's not like a Romero movie. His don't run, moron.
Actually, you may have noticed that most zombie movies do not come right out and say they're zombies or make reference to other zombie movies. This always seemed a bit strange to me because otherwise their world is pretty much identical to ours, so they'd probably be familiar with zombie movies. But now I totally understand why they don't do this. It's because it's really hard to acknowledge this without making the whole situation sound really far-fetched and stupid.
Those are reanimated corpses, just like out of a fucking Romero movie.
Look at that, I actually learned something from this movie. I mean, it was in the what not to do category, but I'll take it. I also find it pretty strange how quickly they came to the reanimated corpses conclusion. Here's what the attackers look like. They just look like crazed, really pasty-looking people. I think there's a sort of hierarchy of conclusions you'd come to before you settle on zombies. Probably most strange is how none of the heroes, and I use the term very loosely, noticed any zombies since they got here. These zombies trashed the rave and overran the island, which probably took a while, but when the main guys show up, they've all vanished. Zombies are not exactly known for their ninja-like stealth.
Okay, I find this all a little hard to believe. It was a stunt, it was part of the rave.
What?
This is all just one big practical joke.
Oh, so your logical alternative to a zombie apocalypse is that somebody got a bunch of their friends, dressed them up like zombies, and attacked and murdered dozens of people as a practical joke? Maybe you're new to the concept of humor, but practical jokes don't usually involve mass death.
Speak for your fucking self, testicules.
Okay, present company excluded apparently.
Hey, you guys, what is that?
You never heard of taking a dump, lady?
Was that guy covered in shit? If so, I suggest we stretch it to be a metaphor for the entire movie.
All I can say is it really dried fast. Oh, and look at this. The zombies turned What's-Her-Knockers into a zombie and then just disappeared again, but somehow left her behind?
Oh, the guy who only existed to tell the audience that they were in a zombie film just died. Oh dear, fuck you. Romero zombies these aren't.
You know, breaking people's necks in movies is getting easier and easier.
What the hell was that thing?
What? She didn't know it was a zombie? If she didn't know it was a zombie, what was she doing walking around with an assault rifle? And I'm pretty sure it's not correct police procedure when dealing with unruly people to fire a round through the chest and follow up with a bullet to the brain to make sure they're dead.
What the hell was that thing? Our best friend. Not anymore.
Oh, thank you so much for the condolences, Officer Sympathy!
Everybody hold on a minute. Maybe I can get us some answers.
This is the most literal sense of shooting first and asking questions later that I've ever seen in my entire life. And then she leads them away. Sure, let's everyone trust the woman who just killed our best friend and didn't show any remorse or empathy.
No matter how much dance-ish music you throw at us while the zombies attack, this boat scene cannot be kick-ass!
Great scene, so much character development, and it really moved the plot forward. The group decides to head back to the ship.
I just noticed, one of the zombies looks like Pazuzu from The Exorcist. Oh fuck, they're walking over the bog of eternal stench. Either that or it's a local dry ice farm.
Okay, finally after an uneventful trip, they arrive at... uneventful movie. We're now at the halfway point in the movie, and so far all that's happened is that they went to a rave to find the place deserted, discovered zombies, and are now trying to go back home. Oh, and a few characters died, but they don't exactly matter. The funny thing is, considering that barely anything is happening, there's so much here to criticize. For instance, we just established that the captain wiped out a bunch of zombies with ease, but when these guys show up, the ship is overrun. What happened? And even though the ship is swarming with zombies, Douche Hair here decides to run and dive into the water. Oh, and there's more than a full minute of his friends yelling at him to stop, and he still dives in. Well, he deserves whatever he gets. Oh, he survives. Oh well.
I'm pretty sure that one of the zombies who leaps from the boat holds his nose.
And check this out. They totally forgot the reason she put the pistol away is that she ran out of ammo. Or did she reload? When did she have a chance to reload? They've just been running and fighting this whole time. So yeah, there's a big reveal where you find out Captain Kirk isn't dead, which makes that scene earlier even more pointless because it demonstrates he was aware of the zombies and that he can take care of himself. If they just took out that scene, this reveal would have had more of an impact. Well, it would still be bad, but it would be better.
Why does the captain have a sniper rifle?
And by far, the clumsiest, most stupid moment of this scene is right here. What is he aiming at? Look, there's only one target, but he's shooting everywhere. Yet, the bullets all hit the same spot. Does he have Judge Dredd's gun? There's even a part where he carefully lines up a shot, and just as he shoots, he jerks the rifle to one side and still hits what he was aiming at. It's like Jürgen Prochnow is just trying to prove that nothing in this movie makes sense.
Oh, here come those classic Romero zombies, armed with the weapons that they're famous for. So close to title dropping Die You Zombie Bastards. Pity. Oh, acid spitting. I remember that happening a lot in Dawn of the Dead. That's how Tom Savini died.
Was that the old Dawn of the Dead or the new one?
The one with Tom Savini in it!
Magnum P.I.?
Is that a bite?
Considering they've already made the connection that these are zombies right out of a Romero movie, you'd think they'd be a little more concerned about the fact that he was bitten.
No, you're coming with me. Can you use a gun? Why? That's why you...
Where did this woman learn about gun safety? Look, I come from a country with strict gun control. I've only touched a gun once and it wasn't loaded. The closest I've come to firing a real gun is playing Time Crisis. Oh, and I might have once or twice played this gun game called House of the Dead. But I know enough that I wouldn't walk around with my finger on the trigger or shove a loaded gun into someone's chest. And this woman is a cop.
Coast Guard.
Oh, well, same thing.
There must be some kind of scientific explanation for it.
Liberty's right.
Rudy, give me a break. These are zombies, pure and simple.
What? You're the one who said it was all a practical joke. This is unimaginably stupid. These two were part of the group that was attacked and who had first-hand exposure to the zombies. They were the ones who said they were zombies and she didn't believe them. Now they've totally reversed positions for no apparent reason. I think this proves that when they wrote this movie, they treated all the characters as interchangeable. Hey, in this scene we need one character to crack and one character to be the voice of reason. Eeny, meeny, miny, moll. Who will carry the idiot ball?
Best I reckon the story goes, there was once some crazy Spanish padre.
Why are we suddenly in the worst pirate movie ever made?
Your experiments are not of God. God. What has God done for you?
Well, without him, you wouldn't be a priest. Just saying.
He's a priest?
They just said he was a padre.
Oh, is that a priest? I just knew it was a baseball team. No, run towards the ship, not into the woods! Oh, you idiot! She gave him a gun with only 2 bullets in it? What? Oh yeah, get used to these 360-degree matrix shots. They tend to use these whenever... well, whenever.
Was that to remind us that we could be playing the game, or just to mock us for watching the film rather than playing the game?
And why is there a grenade on his shirt? I'm pretty sure if he had that in the last shot, he would have used it.
Boat, but there's no way I'm going in that water.
We don't know what's still in that boat.
What about that house?
It's defensible. We'll have shelter.
So far, their plan was to leave the house and go back to the boat. Then they got to the boat, which is their only way off the island, and then decide for some reason it's not safe, and now they want to go back to the house. Progress?
First mate is missing.
What about Greg, Casper? Where is he?
Yeah. I don't think he made it.
What do you mean you don't think he made it?
I mean, I forced him into coming along on a dangerous mission by shoving a gun into his hands, which turned out to not have any bullets. Then he ran straight into the zombie-infested woods at the first sign of danger. But who's to say if anyone's to blame?
We don't have any weapons or food. I mean, we don't have shit.
Why did you plan to go to a rave for days with no supplies?
Days? I thought this was a 3-hour tour.
What the fuck is Gilligan's Island?